and worked in Nairobi, Kenya. I was head of mobile and internet banking initiatives for Barclays Bank Kenya before I started Remitly. And my journey there, I had traveled and done some volunteer work and other things in East Africa specifically, starting in college. I was always drawn to international experiences, even though, kid from Boise, Idaho, fifth generation Idahoan. I've traveled close to 100 countries, lived and worked on 3 continents. So in business school, I wanted to join a general management program, and I wanted that general management program to have an international component to it.
So I'm just going to pause this because I want to start our edition. So right now, we are listening to an interview and the interviewer, and I just pulled up this video from YouTube, so I want to give credit, and I'm sure, and I'm hoping that he will give his own CG credit in there. But the purpose of this conversation today is to highlight the culmination of a challenge that I have been experiencing for quite some time. And those of us who are in the trenches will know what it is. It's sending money to your country, wherever your country is. For me, it's my native land, Belize. And today I just got to this place where I was able to send successfully. I made a remittance, I used and followed the instructions, and it was done. And so we helped someone today. So it's a big deal for me, and I want to thank God that I stumbled upon it. As a matter of fact, how I stumbled on it was I went and I Googled, and it said like 13 of the best apps to send money international, right? Now, this is a big deal for me. So let me just say hooray, hurrah to God's beloved son, this young man by the name of Matt Oppenheimer. Now, this interview, you will hear how the host is going to be asking questions, and so you can go to it yourself and listen. But today I want to read a little bit about what I found on GeekWire, and I'm looking at some of the pictures because this is how I got started today. It says here, the great test chapter begins Thursday when the mobile remittance company starts trading on the NASDAQ, marking a key milestone for a 10-year-old firm that has navigated through various twists and turns on its path to an IPO. Now, we have been having challenges, those of us who are, like I said in the description, who are what you call pioneers. We are small ministry based, and we are trying to help maybe from the countries that we came from. In this particular case, I am from the Central American region, and I have had such a difficult time being able to make this happen in real time for people. As you know, without calling names, I have been blocked because they said that I send too much money, and they want to know if the money that I'm sending is for money laundering. But if anyone really wants to know it, all they have to do is interview us or call. And in this case, that hasn't been done, and it's been very hard for us to reach the annual meeting for these companies so that they can invite us in and we can show that, we are not doing money laundering, we're not doing anything else more than helping people. And so for that, we have received the same blunt end as anyone else. Even though you're a ministry, it doesn't matter. You are not able to send your money as you want to. And it's not easy to make money go to people who really need the help, the vulnerables. And we, at one point in time, we just wanted to make it easy so that, especially a young girl who may need to pay her phone bill, and we want to just pay for her on another app that you use to make long distance call or to just make mobile call. Don't need to call their names. That's also a challenge. So remitting just became a problem because we have to make sure that we're not doing money laundering. And so the reason why I want to talk about Matt Oppenheimer is because somehow God led him to a place where he saw the problem for both you and I. And I am tremendously excited. I know I have to run to a conference, but I just took the time to just stop and say to those of us who are in the same trenches like myself, Remitly. You can go on the website, you can Google it, and if you look in my description, you will see a link. I will add that there, ask them to add that for us so that you can see how to just click and go there, a link to Remitly. I was able to do this so easily today, and it's just as if, you know, we're paying someone else. It didn't ask for your personal information, it didn't ask for your social security, so you don't have to worry if someone is trying to steal your money. It's none of that. It is a legitimate business to business, bank to bank. And I'm so glad that whatever he had to do is done and we didn't have to do it, because I give God thanks in his background, his social media endeavors, his colleagues. The whole story is there on how he works and where he used to work in Kenya and how he got his partner involved in India. So let me go back and play so that you can listen to a little bit about what he says in the background.
And I remember meeting with my then professor, now about to retire, dean of Harvard Business School in Noria, and I was debating a few job opportunities, one of them at Barclays in their corporate retail bank. And he said, it's great if you want to join Barclays, it's great if you want to do a international experience, but make sure to have the conviction to, in a year or two, because I would spend a little time in London first with Barclays, to actually go to Africa and East Africa, which is why you're actually joining Barclays. I thought back to that advice frequently because it very much was the road less traveled. Like, it was not the typical career decision when you're at the mothership of Barclays at One Churchill Place in London to decide to then go to Nairobi and take that job in digital channels. But I'm super grateful for Nitin's advice, super grateful that I took the road less traveled, because it ultimately gave me the idea for this business. And here we are today.
Here we are today.
It's funny you say that.
He said, here we are today. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just piggybacking on that. Here we are today. I'm super excited to tell you that it is Remitly. We can go there and set up an easy portal so that you can get to send money to your loved ones. And as time goes by, if you stop at our website, which is some work we're doing for the vulnerable, Destiny to Green Pastures.org, D2GP, the number 2, D2GP.org, we will see how it's going to be so easy for us to do the things that we want to do when it comes to helping us in a project. And I am glad, because sometimes, I should say many times, sending money has to do with taking it out of your own pocket. So before you can even get to the place where you're going to be receiving money from funders, you have to have been doing it and been in the trenches all along. Am I correct? And so many times that's how fast you have to move when you have someone who has a need. And so we would just do something one-on-one, like an emergency quick funding. And so now that we have found this platform, I know it's going to be easy for people to help us, help families. And the way we're doing it is, in order to help young girls, we need to help young girls within their families, because we don't have the infrastructures yet to solve the problem the way it ought to be solved. Now, we also know that so many other organizations are involved in also helping to solve this problem. And the one that we focus on most has to do with youth chaplaincy, ending child exploitation. As youth chaplains, we are professionals and we're experts in working with youth and motivating them to get their lives together. But the infrastructure is what is needed, and we do not have the infrastructure at this time. Nevertheless, what we do know is that each day, a young girl needs grows. Her needs grow. Each day, a young girl's needs grow. Let me fix that. And when her needs grow, we have to find a way to be able to facilitate that young girl's needs. So if you know of a young girl who has a need, what we're trying to do is do a matching and ask more expatriates, those of us who came from the region, from the Caribbean region, from the third world, from what we would call the Caribbean, Central America, the global South, no matter which country it may be. It's okay to give back. But now Remitly allows us to give back so easily. And I'm tremendously excited. So I want you to take a look at it, share it with a friend, and let me know how it's going for you. And also remember that we here would love to hear from you in terms of how you can partner with us, amen, to help allow a small package to go to mothers who have needs, amen. Now, remember, in each country, there's also a social service system. But if you were to understand the intricacies of these young girls' story, you will want to have compassion and say, okay, I also want to help along with whatever the social government, their government is allotting. So it's not to say that there is a one solution for all. There's so much that we can do. There's so much that we can give back. And simple as giving us, committing to giving us, if each person was to give us $10 a month and commit to a family, it will really help us to help families, help single women and young men, we call those the swimmers, who are heading towards a blessed legacy in being self and economically self-sustained, amen? So help us, help families, help teenagers who are pregnant. Thank you for watching this video. Share it and let us know how you can help. Subscribe to us and please let me know how you can help in any way to help us end child exploitation by helping families. So I go back over here and play.
After I went to engineering school at UConn, and after there was these senior design projects where you had to choose a senior design project, you're basically spending an entire year doing this one project. And I was late to this class, and so everyone had already picked, and I was stuck with this project based in Singapore, just like redesigning this massage chair that Brookstone made. It's like one of these super high-end chairs. And it went really well, and they ended up hiring me, so I moved to Singapore, and that just turned into an awesome experience, like traveling the world. So I very much resonate with your advice, particularly to people in their 20s, you know, younger in your careers. Just do, ideally physically you're in a new place, but even just intellectually exploring something that's just uncharted territory.
I'm saddened that as I watch this video, we're talking about Remitly, CEO Matt Oppenheimer, co-founder, CEO of Remitly. I do not see a lower third here for us to give credit to the host. So I know that's what happens when we do these streaming. Sometimes you'll have someone to help with our names there. So I must say that if you want to look at this, it's episode 324. And it's entitled Matt Oppenheimer, co-founder and CEO of Remitly. So please go and watch it for yourself. And if I were to fast forward a little bit, amen, I wanted you to hear more about what he has to say. But for now, I would like to just close off with that. And then I pray that you will continue to support us in any way that you